we have to understand where these things come from. Like, why do we have such a need for external validation? Being overly concerned with what other people think about us. In order to address the problem, you have to know where it stems from. You have to trace it back. And if you trace it back, you will find yourself in early childhood, infancy, toddlers. Young children have an innate desire to attach. Wait, so if you love me, then I love me. But if you don't like me, then I don't like me. I mean, if you want to attach and connect with me, then I want to attach and connect with me. But if you don't want to attach to me, then I detach. To get their needs met, they have to attach to a caregiver, their physical needs and their emotional needs. That's a problem. If you want to improve your emotional well-being, then you have to check your self-esteem. Like, you really have to close your eyes and ask yourself, like, where would I rate my self-esteem on a scale from 1 to 10, with 1 being low and 10 being very high? Where would I rate myself on that scale? Let's say that you rated yourself at a 7. Then you go to get her phone number. She gives it to me, so now it's a 10. Or she doesn't give it to me, and now it's a 3. I get with her, and now it's a 10. She cheats on me, now it's a 3. Or I have a successful and faithful relationship with her, and other people see that. It's at a 10. I go to the job interview, and I don't get it. 3. Or I get the job, and now it's a 10. It's called contingent self-esteem. It means my self-esteem has contingencies, and it's contingent upon whether you approve me or reject me. So then it fluctuates and changes. It'll change like the wind. Then they start to disconnect from certain emotions. They can't exhibit those emotions. They start to suppress those emotions, disconnect from those emotions in order to be whatever it is that the caregiver is requiring of them. So they can't be whatever they are. They have to be whatever the caregiver is requiring of them. So now they're no longer their authentic self. They've learned to wear a mask, and they carry that into adulthood. They learn the lesson of, I can't be me. I'm not going to be loved for me, so I have to be whatever it is you want me to be. So I've learned to be a chameleon, to blend in, to mold and conform. We isolate for fear of judgment. We portray ourselves on social media because we want to be liked. I mean, it affects what we wear, what we share, how we walk, how we talk, what car we buy, how hard we try. It's embedded in everything we do. It all plays a part in how we're perceived in the world. Neurologically, we're wired to care and fear ostracism. We fear social rejection. The same part of the brain that's activated when we experience a physical injury, it's called dorsal anterior cingulate cortex. That's the same part of the brain that's activated when we experience a social injury. From an evolutionary standpoint, we fear social rejection because it will decrease in likelihood of us being able to obtain necessities and resources. Long-term rejection can lead to hopelessness, sadness, aggression, and depression. A 2003 analysis showed 13 of 15 perpetrators of school shootings experience ostracism. There's severe consequences for us individually and as a society. You see, because we want to attach, we want to connect, we want to feel a part of, we want access to necessities and resources. That's why we care so much about what other people think about us. And there are times where we should care, right? If a lot of people that love you and want what's best for you tell you that you have a problem with substance use, alcoholism, a toxic relationship, then you should care. If your boss tells you that they think you're going to get fired if you don't improve your work performance, then you should be concerned about that. It could affect your reputation. And your reputation is very important, but not as important as your character. John Wooden said, be more concerned with your character than your reputation, because your character, well, that's who you really are, whereas your reputation is merely what people think you are. We have to remember 2 important truths. 1, you're never gonna know what other people think about you. In cognitive behavioral therapy, there's a cognitive distortion. It's called mind reading. Mind reading is the faulty, illogical belief that you know what other people think. You're not gonna know what they think. The second truth is related to the dichotomy of control, which states that we don't have control over what other people think. So 1, you don't know what they think. 2, you don't have control of it anyways. But let's just assume for a minute that you assume correctly and someone has a negative perspective or belief or opinion of you. Good. They just showed you that they're not for you. Not everyone is gonna love us. Not everyone is gonna like you. Some people are gonna hate on you. But as Kurt Cobain said, I'd rather be hated for who I am than loved for who I am not. Life is not a parking garage. You don't need validation. If you need validation, then it's internal validation, not external validation. You don't need external approval, you need internal approval. You have to repeat it, believe it, affirm it. This isn't a one-time thing, this is an everyday thing. This is an all-the-time thing, over and over and over again. What other people think about you is none of your business. Be eccentric, be unique, stand out, turn up or turn down, dream big or live simply, walk your cat. You get to be you. As long as you're not hurting anyone else or hurting yourself, then you get to be you and it's all good. Let some of those emotions come out. Get in touch with our personality. Find out who we were supposed to be before it was stolen from us when we were younger. Take the mask off. And then some people are gonna come along and connect, attach, and love you for who you are, not who you think that they want you to be. Timber approves this message.